A lot of AI tools are being called agents now, but what actually makes something an agent? Here's the simple test. Can the model choose the next step toward a goal, take an action, see what happened, and adjust? I'm Jacob from Jacob Labs, and this is part of my AI Foundation series where I break down the core ideas behind AI as I learn and build. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the difference between a chatbot, a fixed workflow, and an AI agent. There isn't one perfect definition that everybody uses, so here's the practical working definition that I find to be the most useful. An AI agent is a model operating inside a system that can choose actions toward a goal, observe the results, and decide what to do next within defined boundaries. The important part is not simply that the system uses AI, the important part is that the model helps control what happens next. Here's the easiest way to separate the three ideas that often get mixed together. A chatbot mainly responds to a message. If you ask a question, it gives you an answer. A fixed workflow follows steps that were chosen in advance. Step 1 leads to step 2, then step 3. The path was already designed by a person or by code. An agent is different because the model can choose its next step within the boundaries it was given. It might search for information first, it might inspect a document, it might ask you for missing information, it might try a different tool if the first one fails, or it might decide that the goal has already been completed and stop. The ability to choose the next step is the main distinction. A basic agent works inside of a loop. First, it receives the goal. Then it decides what to do next. It takes an action, it observes what happens, then it either repeats the loop or stops. This does not mean the agent creates one perfect plan at the beginning and follows it no matter what. Things can change. It can adjust after each result. If a search gives weak information, it can search again. If a tool fails, it can try another allowed approach. If it needs information from you, it can ask. And if the goal is complete, then it can stop. That loop sits inside of a larger system. There is a model making decisions, there are instructions and a goal that define the job. There may be more tools for searching, reading files, writing code, or updating another system. There may be some sort of state or memory that helps it keep track of what has already happened. And there should be checks or guardrails that limit what it can do, verify its work, or send important decisions back to a person. Not every agent needs dozens of tools or long-term memory. A small system can still be an agent. Here's a simple example. Imagine a research agent with one goal. Compare 3 AI tools and recommend the best one for a small team. The agent searches approved sources, it gathers useful information, and notices an important pricing detail is missing, so it runs another search. Then, it compares tools, produces an answer, and checks whether it completed the original goal. If the answer is complete, it stops. If something important is still missing, it continues. A fixed workflow could also search and write a summary, but it would usually follow the same preset steps every time. The agent is different because the model can decide whether another search, a comparison, or a clarification if needed next. There are also a few important things an agent is not. An agent is not conscious. Choosing between available actions does not mean it understands the world like a real person. An agent is not automatically trustworthy. It can choose the wrong step, misuse a tool, misunderstand the goal in mind, or stop at the wrong answer. Permissions, testing, and human review still matters. An agent does not have to be completely autonomous. It might need your approval before sending an email, spending money, changing code, publishing content, or accessing sensitive information. In many cases, that is the better design. So whenever someone calls a product an AI agent, ask this one simple question. Who chooses the next step? If the path is mostly selected in advance by code, it's closer to a fixed workflow. If the model can choose actions, observe the result, and continue toward the goal within clear boundaries, it's closer to an agent. So the short version is this. An AI agent is not just a model that talks. It's a model inside of a system that can choose actions toward a goal, observe the results, and decide what to do next within those defined boundaries. That's the basic idea behind an AI agent. So if this helped, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to Jacob Labs. I'll be breaking down more of the foundations behind AI, agents, models, tools, and workflows as I continue learning and building.